Welcome to Math 34, Statistics Online. I'm Julie von Bergen. I'm your professor for this course. This video gives some introductory information. We'll also go over this information in our first face-to-face class meeting. So we have two texts for this course. The first is the Math 34 activity packet from the LMC bookstore. So this costs around $10 to $12, and what you're paying for is the photocopies and the printing. There's also a PDF of the activity packet included on the website, so you're welcome to use the PDF or print out your own copies. The second text is the Open Learning Initiative software, accessed at the website oli.cmu.edu. The CMU stands for Carnegie Mellon University, and they host the Open Learning Initiative. So this will be an online text that we read through, and you'll answer checkpoints at the end of each module, or even each module section. So the OLI course key and password are located on the top of your course syllabus. In our class, we're going to be using technology for making graphs and statistical calculations. So the first thing you should have for technology is a graphing calculator. Texas Instrument calculator is recommended. Probably you've used one of these in your most recent math class. If not, I've uploaded videos to go through how to use the calculator, and I can answer any questions you have. You can also use Excel software or the free Google Docs spreadsheet to make graphs and analyze data. So I've gone over some of that in our videos and have put some links to videos of how to use Excel. The third resource is called Statcrunch Software, and you can buy access for $13.20 for 6 months at the statcrunch.com website. The Statcrunch software makes really nice graphs and is easy to interpret data, so it's a good investment for the $13.20 because you'll prefer that for making graphs, and you can make some real nice graphs from that, and that'll help with your mini projects. What's the purpose of this class? Math 34 is an introductory statistics course in which you'll learn how to describe and interpret statistical graphs and data distributions, how to create reliable experiments and surveys, and how to determine if your results are significant and reliable. So this is the order that we'll work through course content. We're going to start by looking at graphs and data distributions and describing and interpreting them. Next, we'll create experiments and surveys. You guys are going to do a mini project where you're going to actually give a survey. And then the second half of the class is going to be spent analyzing results and determining if they're significant and how reliable they are. This class meets mostly online, so it's important that you keep up with the pace and the schedule and come prepared to class with questions. So by coming prepared to class, I mean that you've watched through the videos, you've worked through the group assignments, and you've got your lab assignments completed. You're probably wondering how your grade is determined. So the biggest chunk of your grade are lab assignments at 35%. So lab assignments are written in-depth questions, and these are found in the activity packet at the back of each module. So after you've worked through the module, then you're going to do some independent work in the lab assignment. You should use the online discussion board for help in completing these lab assignments. Myself and/or a classmate will answer your questions. There's a separate form for lab assignment questions, but it's also okay to ask in the group work forum. You should email me with any questions you have about lab assignments. And lab assignments are due each week at the face-to-face meeting. So because we're in a summer class, which is triple speed, you're going to have 2 or 3 lab assignments due each week. You can also go to the math lab to ask questions about lab assignment problems or just to work on the lab assignments. The math lab is open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. The math lab is downstairs in the math building on your right side as you walk in to the main doorway. Since our class is online, when you log into the math lab with your student ID, the computer is probably going to ask you to sign up for non-credit supervised tutoring, SP-TUT. This is a non-credit class that will not appear in your transcript. Saying yes it will allow you to sign in and out of the math lab all summer, and the math lab will get a small amount of funding from the state. So if you spend 30 or 40 hours in there, we get about $10 per student. Mini projects 1 and 2 count for 5% of the grade. So in the mini projects, you will be designing and asking a statistical survey and then analyzing the data that you collect. Mini project 1 designs the survey questions that you plan to ask. so that you get feedback from me before you ask the survey. Next, you will ask the survey. Mini Project 2 analyzes the data you collect in your survey. And Mini Project 2 is due the last week of class. The group assignment form is 10% of the grade. For each module, you are required to post at least twice in the forum. You can definitely post more often. There are 2 to 3 modules each week, and the group work questions are similar to the written lab assignments that you will turn in to me. So working through the group work questions is going to help you be prepared for the written lab assignment questions. Your post can be a new question or an answer to a classmate's post in a discussion thread. When I'm counting up your 2 posts, I'm going to look to see, did you post a new question or did you respond to another classmate? Your question can be about making graphs, how to calculate an answer, making sure you're understanding the question correctly, clarifying what the question's asking, anything that seems appropriate for answering the questions you're welcome to ask. Sometimes students take a picture of their calculations or graph with their cell phone and post it to the forum, since it can be hard to type math. You can also take screenshots on your computer. Group work is the in-between piece of the learning process, where you solve problems working with classmates and checking in with the professor for assistance. Your classmates might explain a concept in a different way than I do, and you'll increase your understanding by explaining what you understand to your classmates. So remember, the group work form is both for asking questions and for explaining to classmates. Watch the lecture videos that go with the class discussion questions before you start the group work. As you watch the lecture videos, you should be pausing and taking notes in your activity packet. These videos explain the new material and will help you answer the group work questions. OLI software checkpoints are 10% of the grade. OLI checkpoints are written questions coordinated with the online text. The checkpoints are multiple choice questions related to the online reading. You will be allowed to retake checkpoints a second time for a higher score, and your final score is going to be average of all attempts. So make sure you do well the first time around also, because it's the average of your total. In the OLI software, there are questions to answer as you read along. These are optional and don't count towards your grade, but they are very, very helpful. And I'll check your free response parts of these to make sure, if you have any questions for me in there. Group quizzes will be 10% of the grade. At face-to-face meetings, we will take group quizzes. The groups will be random each week, so you'll get to work with different classmates. Make sure that you are prepared for group quizzes by being on top of the assignments. You want to impress your classmates. Group members will work together, but each student is responsible for his or her own quiz. Quizzes will be graded individually. If you disagree with group members, you are free to put a different answer on your quiz. The midterm exam is 10% of your grade. The midterm is the 4th week of class during the face-to-face meeting. Each student will work alone on the midterm, so no talking, notes, or no cell phones. Bring a picture ID to the midterm so that I can verify your identity. And the final exam is 20% of your grade. The final exam is Thursday, July 24th in classroom 206 in the math building, and this is our last class meeting.